Thank you everyone for coming this morning. This morning we're going to do email automation. I am going to share my screen this morning because I want to try something different. So let's see what we can get here. It's going to look strange for just 1 minute while I switch over to the slideshow. There we go. So this morning, email automation. One of the things I'm Virginia Weiskopf of Weiskopf Consulting, all things technical and social. And today with me is Jen Davis, my Google specialist. She will be monitoring the chat. So Jen, just so you know, when I'm screen sharing, I cannot see the chat at all. I just see my screen, just as an FYI. So we're going to get started. Email is one of the best tools you can use for your business. It's a one-to-one communication with your clients or your potential customers, but it takes work. It's not just as easy as sending one email a week or one email a month. You need to have a plan, especially with automation, and that's what we're going to talk today about. But the first thing we want to talk about is the fact that it's not about us, it's about them. So there's this middle piece. It's what you want to tell them and what they're interested in, and you have to find that middle ground so that they find it interesting and they appreciate your emails and want to keep getting them. So when it comes to automation, welcome emails generate 320% more revenue. Like, oh my God, is that true? Yes. But what it means is you have sent an email when they want to get it, when they're expecting something. They're ready to receive it and they want to open it. So that is why it receives more revenue. They're ready. So, that brings us to timely engagement, which is really important because it's all about timing. You can send and send and send and send, and until they're ready or they have the need, they're not going to make a purchase. So you automate to build your relationships. You use a simple welcome series, so when they start with you, they get to know you. And we want to deliver on time and invite them to engage in other ways with us. So when you send that welcome or that first email, you want to send it out immediately when they've taken an action. Whether they've joined your list by signing up for an email newsletter, whether they become a customer for yours and you're dropping on an email cycle, you want to deliver that. You want to deliver the asset with them. You want to welcome them, and you want to set expectations for your email marketing that you are doing. So if it's a series that they're dropping on that's automated, you want to tell them there's 4 that are coming their way. If it's just, and then what your regular email marketing is, because people get so tired of getting emails and they don't know when they're going to get them, they hop off. So you have to set those expectations. We've all jumped on an email list or signed up or bought something, and all of a sudden we get an email every single day. And that's just not something one wants to see. We have too many other things to do. So set their expectations, let them know what you're going to do. So it's not just a welcome series that you do when you do an automation. You can do a birthday email. You can do an anniversary email. Now, for me, I don't do birthday emails. It depends on your business if that's a good thing to do or not to do. It's something you have to collect that information, and then you can set it up to go out on their birthday. For me, I use the anniversary email for my clients. And it's the anniversary when they first started being my client. And I usually send a happy anniversary, thanks for being my client. And I might give them a coupon because they have been with me a long period of time. So those are automated emails you don't have to do anything to once you have put them on the list and entered the dates that trigger the event. So when we look at an automated email series, we want to make sure we put a call to action in it, in an email or on a website that triggers that. So to get someone on your website to join your mailing list, to say join my newsletter or join my mailing list, no one wants to do it because they don't want any more emails. But if you're offering them something, downloading a PDF or a white paper or an ebook, they'll give you their email. If you ask them to watch a video, you can ask for their email. If it's in the body of an email you've sent out, so you already have their email, when they click a link or a specific link, you can drop them on a specific list and start another automated series. So whatever their action is, you can have a reaction to it. That's how you automate a series. So why do we want to put our email on autopilot? Because we have a lot to do every single day. And it's a lot of work to send an email out once a week, once a month, once a quarter, because you always put it off. I'm a big proponent of having plans, making a plan, deciding what you're going to do, look at it by quarter. Don't overwhelm yourself. You want to use a form to increase your sign-up. So whether you're getting them, if you use sign up for my newsletter or sign up for my e-blast, you want those pop-ups. And I will say that statistics or analytics tell us that those websites that when you go to leave pop up an email marketing block get more people to engage and sign up than others do. It's not one of my favorite things, but it is something that works, and you have to decide whether it works for you. If they sign up, you want to engage them with a welcome series. And if there's a welcome series and you put links on it, then that they click on, you want to segment them out so you know who they are. So it's the timely and relevant emails that make a difference. It's if I get the email when I'm interested and if I want to engage. So you need to read your analytics and engage interest from those contacts. And those contacts' interests are told to you by what links they click on in your email. When they click on that link, you can either send them an email right away or drop them on a list that goes out later. But you can create lists if you want to do that. One way to do that, let's use a travel planner, for example. And I send out an email that shows family vacations. And you guys remember vacations, right? When we used to go places? Enough said. Or couple vacations. And if I click on the family vacations, it should automatically put me on a list that says interested in family vacations. Now, at that point, you can create an autoresponder to start with that list, or you can just save it so you can email to those people about family vacation. Same thing, if I clicked on the couples, to do the right couples one, I would go on a couples list and then get more information about couples. And you want to automate those, right? So if I go there, it knows that in a week, I'm going to send them some more vacations about the topic they wanted. Now, I could click on both links and get on both email lists, and that's fine. And you need to think about how that works and how you're going to stagger the time for each of those so they don't get 2 emails from you in one day. So let's say I clicked on both. One of them starts in 3 days, one of them starts in 7 days. So now I'm not getting 2 emails from the travel agent on the same day. It's planning. So when we're developing a relationship and working down the funnel, there's awareness, engagement, and conversion. And this goes for email marketing. It goes for online work. People need to be aware of you. They need to engage with you, and then they're going to make that conversion piece. So you need to think about this when you're putting your marketing plan together or your email autoresponder together. Awareness, engagement, conversion. So this is an example from Constant Contact of a nonprofit or onboarding series. I'm serious, yeah. So let's say you've adopted a dog, and they should have 2 different lists, one for adopting a dog, one for adopting a cat, and whatever else they do. So when it goes out, it's going to tell them, you know, your first day as a new dog parent, and give them information. It's communicating with them. It's sharing information. Now, in here, you see there is one call to action about get training tips and resources, which is great because you want to just offer them some information, and yes or no, they want to click it. Then, however many days later, whether it's 3 or 7, you know, it depends on your piece, This may be because I got a new pet. I want to do it every 3 days to get them through that first week. This one is offering educational, transitioning your pet to a new home. And again, it gives them a guide to interact. We can see how many people downloaded that guide. And then you could put a couple more in there every 3 days about their new pet, whether it's a cat or a dog. For the first week, they're getting something. And then you're going to thank them. Thank them for rescuing the dog or the cat. You're going to give them a place where your Facebook is to get them and ask them to write a review. Now, in this first one, it's probably important that you underneath get your resources, let them know how many of emails are in this series. Because if I adopt a pet and I start getting an email every single day, my thought is that, oh my God, I can't have one every day for the rest of my life. But if you tell me that for the first week, we're going to send you some tips and some information to help you through the transition with your new pet, they know that at the end of those 5 days, it's going to be done and they won't jump off. So setting those expectations is very important. Here's another series. They didn't come up. Are they going to come up? Oh, sorry about that. I hate when there's timing in them. So here is something where we've sent something to they've decided they're interested in on Facebook. And we ask them to say that they're coming and to put in their email address. And we send the save the date piece. Then we tell them to prepare for their race and give them information. And then we finish up with educational information. So you are doing anticipation leading up to the date of the race. And you can decide how many are coming out when you time that series out. Depending when I sign up, it should be so many days in between. This one's a little more tricky because if your race is on February 1st, you're starting to remote probably back in November. And so you would probably get your first 3 right away, and then you would drop them on the list that's the regular information that comes out maybe weekly about what's happening with the race. Because if someone signs up a week before the race, they still need to get their 3, but it has to be before the race starts. So timing is everything, and you have to figure out exactly how you're going to do that when you put your series together. So 77% of automation users see an increase in conversions. And that goes back to we're delivering in a timely manner when the person who is receiving it is interested in what is happening. They've signed up because they're interested. When they get it, they're going to read it, and they're going to hopefully react to that. So let's define our series, okay? We need to decide what our series is going to be. We have to define the triggers. We have to define the content, the timing, and the offers. So I put awareness, engagement, and conversion. This particular chart shows awareness, consideration, and purchase. Same 3 pieces going into it, but what are we going to do? How are we going to touch those points to get them to where we want them to be? So define your triggers, okay? On your website, are you offering an asset in exchange for their email address? So here's just a couple different sign-up forms I grabbed off the web. This plant store is giving away a free plant every week to get an email address. So then this one up here is just signing up for updates. So that's kind of a news blast. And the one down below is getting you to register for whatever their event is. So in exchange for doing those things, you're getting an email address. At that point, just collecting it and putting on a list means it's in a big waiting room somewhere. If you're doing this, you need to drop it on a list that starts with an autoresponder. So what are your triggers? On the website, we download a PDF, sign up for an event, enter a drawing. If you have an existing email and you want to segment them and put them on a list for something specific, when they click a link in that email, it will automatically move them to a list. So you're defining what those triggers are. And I'll also say that triggers are also those dates when we talk about the birthday and the anniversary dates. If they're in your database and it's time for them to come up, it will automatically send that out. You don't have to keep track of that, which is a great asset. You may once a year want to go in and change those so that they're not always the same at the first of the year, but yes, they will go out all the time. The other thing is if you collect emails while you're at a networking event or virtual networking event at this point, you can automatically add that email address to a list, and it will start and trigger the series. So it's the act of adding it to the list, however you're getting it there, that starts the series. So now we've decided that we're going to collect something on the website. Let's say we're offering the free plant for the easiest example here. So they sign up for the free plant, right? Or the drawing for the free plant. You immediately want to send that email out that says, thank you so much for entering, and talk about the raffle or the drawing, when it's going to be, how you're going to announce it, that they're going to be getting 4 more emails prior to the drawing and prior to Friday if you're doing it on a weekly basis, and thank them. Then since this is maybe a shorter period of time, you want to send that next email in 2 days talking about about the specific plant that you're raffling off that week, what it takes to take care of it, just information that you're giving to them about the plant, because you want to start engaging with them. The next one, you want to highlight a unique aspect of your business. If you're a plant store and you're giving away that plant, what are the different types of plants that you carry? How do you decide if it's going to do well in your house? Just general information that shows that you're an expert. So then it's the big ask, the big call to action. What are you going to do at the end? What do you want them to do? And this may come much later because they've got the first 3. There's the big drawing. So when you send out the big CTA, you want to say, we want to congratulate so-and-so. And this is where it gets hard. You want the big ask. You can't congratulate because this has to be evergreen. So now you're going to ask, we've had so many, we've had 12 winners in the last week. Each of them have got these great plants. Please join our mailing, or please do something, whatever you're asking. What that ask is, it's in the last one. That's what you want to do. You want to convert them to make a sale or meet with you at that point. So now you've decided what you want to do, and now you have to deal with assets, right? What is my content and my offers going to be? We have to create assets, right? Whether it's a graphic here that's going to be on the website or wherever you're promoting it, whether it's a video you want them to watch that's in the second video on care of houseplants, whether it's an ebook on what houseplants are best for your climate, whether it's a coupon, whether it's just a downloadable white paper, you have to create those assets and put them in those emails you're sending out and understand where along the line you're getting them. Usually the coupon will come at the end because that's your big ask, but you have to create these assets to work. So I got stumbled back on my fourth one back there on the call to action because I was saying, say who won, but you can't do that in an automated series. You have to think of it as evergreen because no matter when it goes out, it can't have an expiration date. It needs to be interested no matter what time of the year. So if I join in January, your list or sign on or do whatever I'm doing, we don't want to be talking about summer plants. So you can't have a coupon that expires in a specific date. You can't promote to a specific season like summer, winter, or fall, because I could join at any of those times. And you can't give a time limit. You have 3 days to use this coupon, or you have 3 days to download your thing, because I can sign up at any time. All of your autoresponders need to be enough evergreen that it's valid year-round whenever I get on that list. So what happens when they complete their... Actually, I'm going to go back. Jen, are there any questions at this point?
There are no questions, but certainly if anybody would like to, they can go ahead and use the chat and I can interrupt and make sure that we get those answered. But there are none as of right now.
Okay. So what happens when they complete their journey? Have you checked your email analytics? What did they do? These should have triggers also. Did they engage with you? How did they engage with you, and where did you send them? So we're starting on the first side, and we have awareness, engagement, and conversion. And that's that first autoresponder piece that you've sent out. Because they're signing up for something, you're making them aware of you, you're engaging with them, and you're trying to get that conversion on the end. And you can go into your autoresponder and look at your analytics on your first one that you sent out. Did they do what you asked them to? Did they click on the box? Did they watch it? How many people clicked? How many people opened? How many people clicked? Is that first email getting the response you need? Do you need to change it up? And if they did that action, did you at that point in your first, second, third, or fourth decide that you wanted to move them along and put them on another list to take them down another journey? So are they engaging with you? How are they engaging with you? Did they click on the email? Did they watch it? Did they download it? What did they do? And where are you sending them? So those are important pieces to know when you're doing your analytics. Your email autoresponders should have, excuse me, the analytics in there. When you look on each different one, it will say how many people dropped on, when it was sent, how many people opened, how many people clicked through, and then you can check if you send them somewhere else when they started their next journey. So once they've had that conversion or not had that conversion, where are they going? So the email journey ends. I got 4 emails, nothing happened. I did not, as the person who's getting them, click on anything that came in. So what do I do next? I can drop them on another one that's creating awareness and engagement because we want that conversion. I can just move them to my general list so they're now getting my weekly, monthly, or quarterly emails. Or if there was a conversion of some point, they're a customer, they made a buy, they downloaded something. Now I'm moving them to another list that gives them service, right? The things they get from me, service for what they purchased. Then you're going to continue that engagement with loyalty, letting them know who you are, how you can help them, thank them for being them. And then they move to advocacies where they are now a raving fan. They've joined your Facebook. How, when you take them on that journey, are you getting them to advocacy and they're engaging with you consistently? Not everyone is going to be. Not everyone's going to be a raving fan and look at every email and open every email or join your Facebook page or go to your website. But we want to try to get them there. It's a journey we're taking them on. Emails play a part in that, and emails play a part in you touching your customers consistently over time. You know, for me, I send out a Monday email every week. It has some topic or we're going to talk about that week or something that's important to you. And then it lists the trainings that are coming up. I can push you to my blog or push you to sign up for a training that's coming up. Now, last week we did them every week. This year, except for January, we're going to do once a month. And we want to engage with you. We want to know what your topics are. We ask you that in the fall, and that's why we started with email marketing, because 33% of you told us that email marketing was important to you, that's what you wanted to hear about. So we did the best practices, and we did this one. So you just end up on my general list, but if I wanted to send you down a longer list, I could create an email marketing list that worked for 12 months that sent out one best practice each month to you and continued to communicate to you because email marketing was the only thing you wanted to know about. I try to hit a blanket, so I put you on my general list, but that's how you would engage them and continue engaging them. So once they end that first email journey, they need...
Virginia, can I interrupt?
Yep.
We have a question. Deborah wants to know, how long should an autoresponder series last?
So I find that I liked when someone gets on one of my autoresponder series, I do it for 4 weeks. But every business is different and every need is different. Um, so if you're running an event, they may need to be spaced closer together and have so many that are leading up to the event. For me, I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but I want them to come once a week for 4 weeks so they're top of mind. You really have to decide what your business model is and what it will take. If you're trying to sell something, hitting them every day, the hard sell is not one of the things that I'm famous for or encourage, but I do believe there are people who do it and it does work for them. But you also get a lot of people who jump right off your list and you want to continue to engage with them. So you can decide, you can have it 3 long, you can have it 4 long, you could have it 7 long. It depends. In that first email, you want to tell them. So you may want to tell them right up front that thank you for signing up. You're going to get an email once a day this week explaining this with information, and then we'll be done, right? You may want to tell them you're getting 4 emails that are following up, and they're spaced a week apart. You may want to tell them that they are jumping on your regular email and are either getting it once a week, once a month, or once a quarter. Set the expectations and then stick to those. So it really depends on your business model. I think 3 or 4 is a good amount for what I want to do, but that doesn't mean it's a good amount for you. Was that helpful? Okay, moving on. So the question is starting a new journey. When we are done with that first email piece, awareness, consideration or engagement, conversion or purchase, to service and loyalty. So we want to make sure that we're taking people on a journey, that we're catching them first when they're interested because they've signed up for something or registered for something or downloaded something. That's something they're interested in. We want to start that journey. Where we're going to take them after that, we need to decide that too. It's a lot of work to sit down and plan it out. And I wouldn't say plan these long journeys right away. You want to plan your first series. You want to decide, okay, maybe I just have people that get on my email address, they sign up for a newsletter, so you're going to work on the welcome series. And instead of just one email that goes out to welcome them to the list, you may do 3 or 4, spaced out, with a major call to action at the end that's about meeting them or getting together or something, where the ones in between are just providing information about you, about your business, what you can do for them, in not a salesy way, but a sharing of knowledge way. Because people like to get information, they like to take a quick read, and these should not be long. None of you have time for a 20-minute thing, and you don't need to put 5 things in your emails. It's about one thing. It's about communicating them. It's a touch point for them to read and either react to or not to react to. So that is my, in a nutshell, email automation, which was a lot of information, and I would love to have some questions. I am going to not stop sharing my screen so that you can I've hidden my stop share. Here we go. Here we are. So I would love to know if there's any more questions, Jen.
Yeah, no, as of right now, there isn't. We'll give everybody a chance to type. I just want to make a note that Deborah did say that did answer her question.
Great.
So we'll give everybody a second. Now is your time to get Virginia's wealth of information. And I had also heard, Virginia, that 3 or 4 in that autoresponder series is a general rule, but to your point,
it really is.
There's going to be some other, there's going to be use cases that are different than that, but 3 to 4 is somewhere in that mix.
Unless you're doing a long piece, like there was a lawn service gentleman that I did work for that I did one a month, that when they got on the list, it talked about it. Now this one was a little tricky because, again, it had to do with I couldn't do it seasonally because I could jump on it any time. So it had to be general information, but it was general lawn stuff all the time. And so that just kept him top of mind and made him an expert. So when they were ready, he could do something. Yeah.
Okay, and we do have a question. Any recommendations for a restaurant series you've had a success story with?
So first of all, you have to think about your business model, and things are different right now because you can't bring people in, right? You can't get them to sit down at the table, click a QR code, and sign up for your list to get a free appetizer or something because you're buying that email address. So now you have to really structure. I have a couple restaurants, not that I manage, but I get emails on that talk about what their specials of the week are, what their meal of the week is, that you can just order it on Monday and it comes in. You can pick it up. So each week I'm offered a new meal. It's just one meal for the week. So it's not like I have to choose between 6 meals, which is something I really want to encourage people about because too many choices are a problem. And you don't want that to happen. You just don't want that to happen. Yes or no is what you want. I either want it or I don't want it. But if they're first coming on your email list and your weekly one is offering that meal, what do you want to tell them? You might want to tell them if you're an organic, tell them about organic food for 2 or 3 and then ask them to make a purchase or you can send them something. If you're a barbecue, you might want to offer barbecue tips for your restaurant. If you're a Mexican restaurant, maybe offer Mexican recipes. I love to get new recipes. So that would keep me on a list to get those and all that information. Maybe it's you're a wine and cheese shop and you want to talk about different types of wine or cheese. You have to decide to offer your expertise at the time they're looking for it so that now you've become a source for them, a resource for them, and you can do that. You have anything to say on that, Jen?
Yeah, I was going to say one of the ones that I get, it's with COVID, it's been Takeout Tuesday and they have a point system. So it's one of those things where it's like double points on Takeout Tuesday since they're offering takeout. But I don't get it every Tuesday. I get it maybe every 3 to 4 weeks. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's Takeout Tuesday. Like if I got it every week, I most likely it wouldn't trigger. But getting it every 3 to 4 weeks, it kind of reminds me, oh yeah, we could do takeout this week and let's do it Tuesday when it's double points. So, and then they give other things, obviously, in addition to that. But that's the other thing is just because you have that special, like Takeout Tuesday for double points every week doesn't mean you have to send it every week. You might want to, think about your customers. Are they really going to take advantage of it every week? Or is it you need a reminder in 3 to 4 weeks because maybe they've forgotten about it?
And that would be when they drop on your regular list. Keep that in mind that you need to be consistent with your emailing. You can't say, okay, it's Takeout Tuesday. Oh, God, I got to put an email. You need to be consistent. And they'll know that you are, and you're always there. You're absolutely right, Jen. Yeah. I see John is here. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, John.
So just quick question from Mercy wants to know a copy of the webinar. And do you want to talk about how we post it? Just so
on Fridays, we do them. By Monday, they're up on our YouTube channel. So if you go to the YouTube channel, the video will be there of this presentation and you can watch it. I don't give out slides, but the video recording is there. You can pause at anyone and take notes. So yeah.
Okay, and then John actually has a question. If you start getting people to respond to your email and put them on a list, what do you suggest about those that come as a result of your call to action versus your existing list?
Okay, so we need to split those into 2 assumptions, and I talked about it a little earlier. If they're joining a list from a sign-up form or somewhere else, and they're not on your list, you're taking them through that autoresponder series that you put that list on. If during that autoresponder series, they click a link that you want to segregate them, let's go back to that adult vacations versus family vacations. Immediately when that happens from the existing list, you want to drop them on a new list that says those are their interests, so that now you've segmented them and you can either start a new autoresponder for that list or just know that if you want to send out a whole email on family vacations, it's to a subset of your list.
Okay, great. That's we just got a new one. So the link to our YouTube channel, I can get that for you. Or do you know it?
I'm on the one page because I'm going to go to the attendee page right here, and I'm going to put two links in here for you guys. One is to, that's didn't copy correctly. You get the YouTube one and put it in the chat, and I will put this one. Okay, this first one that's popping up on the bottom that you should see takes you to our thank you page for joining, and it shows some videos, and it also has a link on that page to the YouTube channel. I have it, Jen, if you don't have it already. Then the second one I'm putting in, because you should have two pop-ups now in the chat, that shows take you directly to the YouTube channel.
Great. Thank you.
And you can just close those boxes if you need to go back to the chat and put something in.
All right. No other questions at this point.
Okay, well, that was my quick 30-minute email automation in a nutshell. There's a lot to it. If you have any questions, feel free to email us or give us a call, and we will give you a hand. Jen, thanks for joining us this morning, and thank all of you very much for coming and joining us, and we will see you on February 19th, I believe it is, which is, I will tell you in just a minute what our February 19th one is. It's about branding, new year, new you. And it should be fun, just so you know, because there's this, I've joined TikTok, much to my dismay, because it's the biggest time suck ever. But there's one guy who does bad logos and bad signs, and they're hysterical. So I'm going to have some really great examples for you during that one. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in a month. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.